Hello and welcome to SmokeHouse. Today we're going to do some pork ribs for you. I bought them from our local supermarket. Just got a pack of 3. Not really too much to do to these. A little bit of trimming, just get the membrane off of the back, season them up, and then we can get them put onto the smoker. They don't take really long to do. We do them in 2 stages, so we do about 2-3 hours worth of smoking, and then we wrap them and leave them to go tender in the smoker. So at the moment, as you can see, we're just pulling the membrane off of the back. It's pretty easy. Just get this corner started and then get a piece of paper towel or a cloth or something and gently pull, take your time, and hopefully it'll all come off in one piece. Get all that off the back, and that just means then that the ribs will separate really nice and easy, and there's nothing chewy when you eat them. So we've done that to all of the ribs, and now we're going to put some seasoning on. Because they are a little bit drier, what we normally need to do is just put a binder on. So we put some mustard on and just give it a bit of a rub in, and then when we sprinkle our spices on, they'll stick to it nice and easy. So we just sprinkle a bit of spices on and then give it a little bit of a rub, and that'll get all the spices in and everywhere where we need it to be. So we just pat that down and make sure it's sort of covered everywhere. It's a bit of a messy job, but it's a bit fun. So we just turn them over, and we will do the same again. Put a little bit on. Don't want that little bit on there. Just rub all the mustard in, make sure it's all covered, and then what we'll do is we'll just get some spices on, give them a bit of a dab on there to make sure we get everything on there nice and coverage. Make sure that all the spices are covered everywhere, and that's basically it. Let's wash our hands and get it on the smoker. So the smoker's up to temperature, as you can see. We always have this preheated and ready to go, and to be fair, we just try and put these into the middle, as close to the middle as possible, just to get a nice even heat on them. We do these at about 110 degrees, and then we just leave these to smoke for 2 or 3 hours, and that's where the flavour will get in. And then once the flavour's in, we can then wrap them and start to break them down. So we'll check them yet again every hour. Temperatures come back up again. They've been on for about an hour, and they're just starting to take on the smoke flavour now. As you can see, they're starting to go dark. We'll give it another hour and we'll check again. So an hour later, as you can see, we are starting to go even more red, and that's what these ribs do. They're starting to get like a reddy colour to them. And once they are done, they look amazing. So we'll see if we can get a bit of a closer picture of these for you. I think might be on this one, it's going to be on the next one. So here we go. So you can see they are starting to go sort of a reddy orange colour, and they'll go a bit darker. And once they start to go a bit darker, you've got the outside colour looking exactly how you want it, and you're happy with that, and then it's time to wrap them up. And then once you wrap them, all you then do is you're just waiting to get them to the right consistency, the right texture, so break them down. So as you can see now, these are not far off done. I want to give them a little bit longer, probably another hour or so. Let me check them, and then yeah, they have gone dark enough. I think I'm quite happy with that. So what we'll do now is we'll get them wrapped up in tin foil. So I always just put a little bit of butter or a bit of margarine or something in there, and you can use sugar in here, brown sugar and honey, or what we normally do, but this time we're going to use a bit of barbecue sauce. Just get that dropped into the bottom. We'll put the meat side down so that it's going to soak into the juices, and that's the way we want it to cook, so that's the way we wrap it. So I could roll this, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to make sure it stays the right way up and wrap it that way. And once you've got it nice and flat, we just roll the edges up. It doesn't mean to be too tight, but it wants to be where once those juices and the butter and everything starts to break down, they're actually in contact with the meat and start to soak it. So once everything's all wrapped up, we're going to put it onto a nice baking tray, and then just put it back into the smoker, and we're just going to go now on feel. We don't go on temperature, we go on feel. So when you can start to pick these up and they virtually bend in half, that means then that they are done and you'll feel it. So we're about 2 hours later and we're quite happy, everything's all done. They are piping hot, so we're going to unwrap them and have a look and see what we've got.